Hey everyone, welcome back to Forbidden Unveiled. I'm your host, John Doe, and I'm so excited you're joining us for another deep dive into the paranormal. Tonight, we're exploring a topic that's both fascinating and a little freaky: astral projection. Have you ever felt like you were floating above your body, witnessing yourself from outside? Maybe it was a vivid dream or maybe something more. That's the kind of stuff we're unpacking tonight, and I can't wait to get into it with our resident expert, Jane Doe.
Hey everyone, glad to be back.
Before we get started, quick reminder to hit that follow or subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming episodes. And a huge thanks to everyone who's already part of the Forbidden Unveiled family. Your support means the world to us.
Okay, let's dive right in. What exactly is astral projection, and is it something anyone can do?
So astral projection is basically the experience of separating your awareness from your physical body. You're essentially projecting your consciousness into a different realm of existence, often called the astral plane. It's often described as an out-of-body experience, or OBE for short, and it can be a wild ride. So you're saying there are specific techniques people use to intentionally have these OBEs. That's incredible.
Right. There are quite a few techniques, each with its own approach. The wake back to bed method, for instance, involves waking up in the middle of the night and then going back to sleep with the intention of projecting. It's all about harnessing that hypnagogic state, that drowsy phase between wakefulness and sleep, to trigger an OBE.
That makes sense. It's like catching your mind in that liminal space between worlds.
Exactly. Then you have more physical techniques like vestibular stimulation,
Yep.
which involves stimulating the inner ear to create a sense of disorientation. Some people even use visualization, picturing themselves leaving their bodies to help induce the projection.
Wow. Stimulating the inner ear. Sounds a little intense. But I guess when you're trying to separate your consciousness from your body, a little disorientation might be helpful. But it's not always intentional, right? I've heard of people experiencing astral projection spontaneously, like during sleep paralysis.
That's very true. Sleep paralysis, where you're aware of your surroundings but unable to move, is a common trigger. It's like your mind, stuck in the state of immobility, decides to explore other realms. And sometimes it's not even a choice. Some people report being pulled into the astral plane involuntarily, which can be pretty terrifying.
Okay, that's definitely giving me chills, especially knowing what might be lurking on the other side. Which brings us to the astral plane itself. What can you tell us about this mysterious realm?
The astral plane is often described as a separate dimension that exists alongside our own physical world. Think of it as a vast interconnected network of energy and consciousness, but it's not a carbon copy of our world. People describe familiar locations appearing distorted or altered, with a strange black and white and blue tinge, almost like an old faded photograph.
So, it's our world, but glitching.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just the scenery that's different. The astral plane is also populated by various entities, some friendly, some not so much.
Okay, now we're getting to the good stuff. This is what everyone wants to hear about, the entities.
Well, let's start with the good guys, shall we? Many people report encountering beings of light. They're often described as angelic and radiating warmth and wisdom. These beings are said to offer guidance and support to those they encounter.
So, like guardian angels of the astral plane.
You could say that. They're like beacons of positivity and enlightenment.
And then you also have encounters with spirits of deceased loved ones, right?
Yes, imagine seeing your grandma again, offering comfort and insights from beyond the veil. That's the kind of heartwarming encounter people describe.
That's comforting to hear. But I know it's not all sunshine and rainbows on the astral plane. There's some pretty freaky entities out there, too.
Definitely. One of the most frequently reported negative entities is the shadow entity. These are tall, shadowy figures, often with glowing red eyes, known for their intimidating presence. They can be quite aggressive, even pulling people into the astral plane against their will.
Red eyes, huh? I'm starting to understand why these encounters give people nightmares.
And it gets worse. You also have the hooded entities. Imagine figures shrouded in dark cloaks, with skeletal features hidden beneath their hoods. They're associated with negativity and pain, and just their presence can be deeply unsettling.
Hooded figures with skeletal faces. That sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. And I know there are stories about encounters with the devil himself. Is that something you've come across in your research?
Yes. Although it's debatable whether these encounters are truly with the devil or just another entity masquerading as such to instill fear. After all, fear is a powerful weapon on the astral plane.
That makes you wonder, right? Is it actually the devil? Or is it just our own fear taking on a terrifying form?
That's a question worth pondering. And it's not just these big, scary figures, we need to worry about. One source mentions a Huacamera, a San Pedro shaman, who explained that dark spirits are often drawn to the Manipura, or solar plexus chakra.
Hold on. What chakra?
The Manipura chakra. You're probably familiar with the concept of chakras, those energy centers in the body. Well, the Manipura chakra, located in the solar plexus, is associated with personal power and self-esteem. Some believe that dark spirits target this chakra because it's a vulnerable point, especially for people who are already feeling insecure or disempowered.
So it's like they're feeding off of our insecurities.
Yeah.
That's even creepier than just being randomly attacked.
It definitely adds another layer of complexity to these encounters. But remember, not all entities on the astral plane are good or evil. There's a whole spectrum in between, and some are just downright strange.
Oh, I like where this is going. Tell me about the weird ones.
Well, one source describes these gargoyle creatures, small winged beings that seem more mischievous than malicious. They're even described as expressing confusion upon encountering a physical body without its soul.
Wait, gargoyles confused by a soulless body? That's both hilarious and kind of profound. Like, they're so used to seeing souls floating around, they don't know what to make of a regular physical person.
Exactly. It makes you wonder what their perspective on the astral plane is like.
Okay. I need to hear more about these strange entities. What else have you got?
Well, there's one that really stands out, the Goat Man.
The Goat Man. Now, that's a name that sparks curiosity.
He's a powerful, shape-shifting entity who supposedly appears in a form chosen by the person perceiving him.
So he's like a mirror to our subconscious.
Yeah.
What kind of form did the person in your source see?
They described him as a towering figure with the head of a goat and the body of a man. But here's the twist. This Goat Man offers protection from other entities, but he also admits to feeding off of human energy.
Hold on. He protects people, but also feeds off them. Isn't that a bit contradictory? Like, is this a symbiotic relationship, or is there a darker side to this Goat Man?
It definitely raises questions about his true intentions. Is he a benevolent protector, or is he just playing the long game, using protection as a way to gain our trust and then drain our energy?
And on top of all that, he offers philosophical insights about life, death, and the universe. It's like a cosmic therapist with a taste for human energy.
Exactly. It really highlights the complex and often paradoxical nature of the astral plane.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. So with all these potential encounters, good, bad, and just plain weird, how do we navigate the astral plane safely?
That's a great question. And it brings us to one of the most crucial aspects of astral projection.
Yeah.
Protection and discernment.
Right. Because it sounds like you can run into just about anything out there. You need to be prepared.
Absolutely. Fear is a major vulnerability on the astral plane. Negative entities are said to feed off of fear, so maintaining a sense of calmness and confidence is key.
That makes sense. It's like if you're walking down a dark alley at night. If you act scared and vulnerable, you're more likely to attract unwanted attention.
That's a great analogy. Projecting confidence and strength can make a huge difference. And setting clear intentions before you project is also crucial. Decide what you want to achieve on the astral plane, whether it's exploration, seeking guidance, or connecting with loved ones. And focus on that intention. It helps to create a kind of energetic roadmap for your journey.
So intention is key. And what about protection techniques? Are there specific things we can do to shield ourselves from those nasty entities?
Oh, definitely. Visualization is a powerful tool. Imagine yourself surrounded by a bright white light. Or visualize a protective shield deflecting any negative energy. You can also use affirmations, repeating phrases like, "I am safe and protected," or "Only beings of love and light may enter my space." It sounds simple, but it can be incredibly effective in creating a positive, energetic field around you.
It's like building a psychic fortress.
Exactly. And some people find that working with crystals, like black tourmaline or amethyst, can amplify their protective energies.
Crystal's affirmations, visualization, it's like a spiritual toolkit for astral travelers.
You could say that. But even with all the protection in the world, discernment is still key. Not every entity you encounter will have your best interests at heart, and that's where intuition comes in.
Right. You can't just blindly trust everything you encounter on the astral plane.
Exactly. If something feels off, trust your gut and disengage. Don't be afraid to say no, or to simply return to your body if a situation feels unsafe.
That's such an important point. It's easy to get caught up in the wonder and excitement of the astral plane. But we need to remember that it's not a playground. It's a realm of immense power, and we need to approach it with respect and caution.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Now, before we move on, I want to shift gears a bit and talk about something a little less spooky.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What else is there to the astral plane besides entities and creepy encounters.
Well, a lot of people focus on the potential dangers, but the astral plane can also be a source of profound personal growth and even spiritual healing.
Oh, that's right. We haven't even touched on the positive side of things.
Some sources describe encountering beings of light who offer profound guidance and support, helping people overcome personal challenges or deepen their understanding of their spiritual path. Imagine accessing a realm of pure wisdom and love. That's the kind of transformative experience people describe.
It's fascinating how the intention behind astral projection seems to play a significant role in the types of experiences people have.
It really does. It's almost as if the astral plane acts as a mirror, reflecting our own intentions and desires back to us. If we approach it with fear and trepidation, we're more likely to encounter entities that reflect those negative emotions. But if we approach it with love, compassion, and a desire for growth, we open ourselves to a whole different spectrum of experiences.
So it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff. It's about cultivating the right mindset and intentions to attract positive experiences.
That's exactly it. It's about creating an energetic resonance that aligns with what you're seeking.
Which brings us back to the idea of the astral plane being a reflection of our internal state. We talked about the Manipura chakra and how dark spirits might be drawn to insecurities. Does this mean we can also use our positive qualities like love and compassion to attract benevolent entities and experiences?
Absolutely. It's like planting a seed. If you plant a seed in fertile soil and nurture it with water and sunlight, it's more likely to flourish. Similarly, if we cultivate a positive and loving inner landscape, we create a more fertile ground for transformative astral experiences.
It's not just about surviving the astral plane. It's about thriving in it.
Exactly. And this brings us to another fascinating aspect of astral projection, the possibility of interacting with the astral plane in a way that benefits not just ourselves, but also others. One source mentions a technique where individuals can help guide lost or troubled spirits back to the light.
Wait, you're saying we can act as a sort of astral rescue team?
In a way, yes. By holding a space of love and compassion, we can potentially assist those who are trapped in lower vibrational states to find peace and healing. It's a beautiful concept. The idea that we can use astral projection as a form of spiritual service.
So it's not just about personal exploration. It's about using our abilities to help others. That adds a whole new dimension to astral projection.
It really does, and it highlights the profound interconnectedness of all beings, even across different realms of existence.
Wow, that's a lot to take in. So before we go any further, I think it's time for a quick recap. What are the key takeaways for someone who's just starting to dip their toes into the world of astral projection?
Good idea. First and foremost, approach astral projection with respect, discernment, and a healthy dose of caution. Remember that the astral plane is a powerful realm, and it's important to be prepared.
Right. Don't just jump in headfirst without knowing what you're getting into.
Exactly. Do your research, learn about protection techniques, and cultivate a positive and balanced mindset. Fear is your enemy on the astral plane, so focus on cultivating confidence and a sense of inner strength.
And remember, it's not all about avoiding the scary stuff. The astral plane can be a source of incredible growth and healing. But it's up to us to create the conditions for those positive experiences to unfold.
Well said. And don't forget about the potential for service. We can use our abilities to help others, even in the astral realm.
This is all so mind-blowing. I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of this topic.
We have, and that's the beauty of it. There's always more to explore.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up part 2 of our astral adventure.
But don't worry, we're not done yet. We'll be back with part 3 to delve even deeper into this mysterious realm.
Until then, stay curious, stay open-minded.
Oh.
And as always, thanks for listening. Welcome back to Forbidden Unveiled. We've spent the last 2 parts of this episode diving deep into the world of astral projection, exploring techniques, entities, and everything in between.
It's been quite a journey so far.
It has. And before we wrap things up, I want to circle back to something we touched on earlier. The idea that the astral plane isn't just about running into shadowy figures or having philosophical debates with goat men. There's so much more to this realm, especially when it comes to personal growth and spiritual healing.
Absolutely. We've talked about the potential dangers, but it's important to remember that the astral plane can also be an incredible source of positive experiences. People report encountering beings of light who offer profound guidance and support, helping them overcome personal challenges and deepen their spiritual understanding.
It's almost like having access to a cosmic therapist on speed dial.
It's a powerful image, right? Imagine being able to tap into a realm of pure wisdom and love. That's the kind of transformative experience people describe.
And we talked about how our intentions play a crucial role in shaping our astral experiences.
Right. If we approach the astral plane with fear and trepidation, we're more likely to attract negative encounters. But if we cultivate a mindset of love, compassion, and a desire for growth, we open ourselves to a whole different spectrum of possibilities.
Well, so it's not about suppressing fear altogether. It's
Okay.
about shifting our focus to those positive qualities, those higher vibrations.
Exactly. It's about creating an energetic resonance that aligns with what we're seeking.
Which brings us back to the idea of the astral plane as a mirror, reflecting our internal states. We talked about dark spirits potentially being drawn to insecurities. But does this mean we can also use our positive qualities to attract benevolent entities and experiences?
Absolutely. Think of it like this. If you're surrounded by negativity and fear, you're more likely to attract more of the same. But if you radiate love, compassion, and joy, you become a beacon for those same qualities.
It's like saying, what you seek is seeking you.
Exactly. And this principle seems to be amplified on the astral plane. So if you're seeking healing guidance or spiritual growth, cultivate those qualities within yourself. Meditate, practice gratitude, engage in acts of kindness. All of these things contribute to a more positive and receptive energetic state.
So it's not enough to just think positive thoughts.
Yeah.
We need to actually embody those qualities.
Right. It's about creating a fertile inner landscape for positive experiences to take root.
This reminds me of something we discussed earlier, the potential to use astral projection for service.
Yes. We talked about the possibility of guiding lost or troubled spirits back to the light.
That's a powerful concept. Using our abilities not just for personal exploration, but also to help others.
Imagine acting as a sort of astral guide, helping lost souls find peace and healing. It speaks to the interconnectedness of all beings, even across different realms of existence.
It's both humbling and inspiring to think about the potential for service on the astral plane.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we're all in this together, and that even in the vastness of the astral realm, our actions and intentions can have a ripple effect.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground tonight. From the basics of what astral projection is, to the potential risks and rewards, to the idea of using our abilities for service. It's been a truly mind-expanding journey.
It has, and I hope our listeners feel empowered to explore this fascinating topic further.
If there's one thing I hope our listeners take away from this episode, it's this. Approach astral projection with respect, discernment, and a healthy dose of caution. But also, don't be afraid to explore.
Exactly. The astral plane, for all its complexities and potential dangers, is also a realm of infinite possibility and wonder.
And who knows what incredible experiences await those who are brave enough to venture beyond the confines of the physical world.
Maybe even a friendly chat with the goat man.
Huh. Maybe so. But seriously, folks,
Yeah.
before we sign off, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts and experiences with astral projection?
Have you had any encounters with the entities we've discussed?
Do you have any questions or insights you'd like to share?
Reach out to us on social media or leave a comment on our website. We'd love to hear from you.
And as always, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Forbidden Unveiled.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep the wonder alive.